All right, let's break down a data engineering project that isn't just another line on your resume. It's a real statement. We're talking about a complete end-to-end Azure project built specifically to tackle the kind of challenges you're going to face in the 2025 job market.
And look, that isn't just some marketing hype. That's a direct quote from the source material, and it really sets the stage. This project is designed to be a career maker, plain and simple, because it uses the exact tech and solves the exact problems that top companies are hiring for right now.
Okay, so here's our game plan. First, we'll talk about the real-world challenge that data engineers are up against. Then, we'll walk through the project's architecture, from grabbing the raw data all the way to serving it up for analysis. It's a perfect mirror of how the project itself flows.
So, what's the big deal? What is the core challenge today? Well, the field of data engineering has seriously leveled up. Just being able to move data from point A to point B, that's not going to cut it anymore. The bar for what companies expect from a data engineer is way, way higher.
And this right here is the absolute heart of the matter. Employers aren't looking for people who can just write a simple, static script. No way. They need engineers who can build these robust, automated, and dynamic systems, pipelines that can handle whatever you throw at them without needing someone to hold their hand. And that's exactly the challenge this project solves.
So how does this project actually meet that challenge? Well, it all starts with a modern architecture. This isn't just a random collection of scripts cobbled together, it's a fully thought-out solution with a clear, industry-standard structure. So let's dive into that blueprint.
The whole thing is built on what's called the medallion architecture, a super important concept. The easiest way to think of it is like a data refinery. The bronze layer is where all the raw, messy, untouched data comes in. Then, in the silver layer, we clean it up, we transform it, get all the junk out, and finally, the gold layer. That's the polished, aggregated, business-ready data, all set for analytics. This structure is key for data quality and keeping everything organized.
And these are the tools that make that architecture come to life. And we're not talking about old, outdated tech. This project is packed with the most in-demand services in the Azure and Databricks worlds. You've got Azure Data Factory for orchestration, Databricks doing the heavy lifting, and incredible tools like Autoloader and Delta Live Tables for building super efficient and reliable pipelines. When a hiring manager sees these on a resume, they know you're ready for the real world.
All right, let's get into the nitty-gritty, starting with ingestion. Just getting the data into the system. This is a critical first step, and this project shows off a really sophisticated dual approach. Why? Well, because in the real world, your data is coming from all over the place in all kinds of formats.
And this is where it gets really smart. It's all about using the right tool for the right job. So for those smaller, static lookup files that are just sitting on GitHub, a dynamic pipeline in Azure Data Factory is perfect. But for the main Netflix titles data, which could get new files added at any time, the project uses Databricks Autoloader. It just sits there and only loads the new data as it shows up. It's efficient, it's automatic, it's brilliant.
Let's just zoom in on Autoloader for a second. Think of it like a smart security guard for your data folder. Instead of constantly checking every single file over and over again, it only pays attention when a new file arrives. It just automatically and efficiently processes it. It can even handle it if the data structure changes, like if a new column gets added down the line. This is absolutely fundamental for building modern, scalable pipelines. Okay, now we're getting to the real heart of the project, the dynamic transformation. This is the stuff that makes it truly special. We're moving way beyond just pulling data in. We're talking about the complex, powerful work of turning that raw data into a genuinely valuable asset. Honestly, these are the techniques that separate the senior engineers from the junior one.
So what do we even mean by dynamic? Well, instead of having one rigid, straight path, the whole process is flexible. It can use if-else logic to choose different paths based on the situation. It can loop through items using a for-each activity, applying the same complex PySpark transformations to all of them. This is not a simple script. It's an intelligent, flexible workflow, and that is exactly how real-world automation is built.
Now, to create that final, perfect gold layer, the project uses one of the hottest technologies out there right now, Delta Live Tables, or DLT. It's what's called a declarative framework. Here's a great way to think about it. It's like ordering a pizza. You don't tell the chef how to knead the dough or how to slice the pepperoni. You just declare what you want, a pepperoni pizza. DLT is the same. You just define the final state you want your data to be in, and it figures out the most reliable way to get you there, automatically managing all the dependencies and data quality checks along the way.
So, we've adjusted the data, and we've transformed it.
But we're not done yet. The final piece of the puzzle is actually making all that beautiful, clean data available for analysis. This is what makes it a true end-to-end project. It doesn't just stop when the engineering is finished. It actually bridges that gap to business intelligence.
The final leg of the journey is super straightforward. That clean, aggregated data from our gold layer gets loaded into Azure Synapse Analytics, which acts as our central data warehouse. And from there, it's a simple connection to Power BI, which lets analysts and business users go wild creating reports and dashboards.
And that right there is the whole payoff. This project shows you the entire life cycle of data. It demonstrates how to take messy, scattered source files and systematically refine them into a structured, reliable, and queryable asset that can actually be used to make business decisions. That is the complete story that employers are desperate to see.
So let's boil this all down. What are the big takeaways here? First, you have to go beyond basic pipelines. The standard has been raised. Second, mastering tech like autoloader and Delta Live tables is pretty much non-negotiable now. Third, building dynamically with parameters is key. And finally, you have to think end-to-end. Your job isn't done until the data is actually being used for insights. Which brings us to one last really important question to ask yourself. You probably have projects on your resume. We all do. But are they projects built for the challenges of yesterday? Or are they forward-looking solutions that prove you are ready for the demands of tomorrow? This project? Well, this project is designed to be the answer.